Pavan? Students, can you hear me? Priyanka?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, students, how was your workshop, SSTP workshop, software testing training program, how it was? Is Deepika M?
Yes, ma'am.
Deepika,
Yes, ma'am.
ಹೇಗಿತ್ತಮ್ಮ workshop?
Yes, ma'am. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು.
Did you attend all the sessions?
Yes, ma'am. I attended.
Yeah, okay. Yes. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ?
Yes, ma'am. Certificate ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಕ್ತು, ma'am.
You learned something?
Yes, ma'am.
Certificate but ಏನು ಕಲ್ತ್ರ?
Yes, ma'am. It's all about like selenium. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Bhavisha?
Yes,
Bhavisha,
yes, ma'am.
feedback on STTP?
Sorry, ma'am, once again.
Any feedback on workshop? You attended software testing training
Yes,
program,
ma'am.
no?
Yes, ma'am, I attended, ma'am. It was
How
good,
it
ma'am.
was? How it was?
It was good, ma'am. We got
Okay.
selenium and
Selenium tool
little
you learned, no? How to use Selenium
Python
testing
also.
tool. They have learned. They have explained very nicely. No, if you have any minor doubts, also if
Yes, ma'am.
they were explaining, it was good, no? So all of you received the certificate, students.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, students. In GCR, I'll create a link for certificate. All of you upload your certificate to that link. Yes. Once I create, no, everybody will get an invitation for GCR. From GCR, you'll get an invitation. All of you scan your already it is in PDF format only, I think. Whatever certificate you have received, no, you share with me in the GCR. Okay. ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ by tomorrow? Today I'll create a assignment. I'll create assignment in GCR. All of you share your certificate to the GCR. Okay, students. Yes, students, can you see the PPT? Is my screen is
Actually,
visible?
we did today morning. Venkatesh sir created one assignment for that.
To Venkatesh sir you have
Yes,
sent,
sir.
huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. To me also you can share now because he is class teacher. I am the subject teacher now.
Okay, ma'am.
Just one mail forward. You can do it. Okay, at the end of my class today only I'll create the GCR link, GCR assignment I'll create. So to that GCR assignment, all of you can share your certificate. Okay, students, you can see the PPT now. Yes, we were in the last module, fifth module. We were and what are the quality we are following, and what are the processes what are the qualities we are maintaining, and what are the process we are following. That will be checked by the team, that the external team and correction. So these three team will do the checking for all our process. So next we have test and analysis strategy. So whatever the test we do, students, so we have to plan. Once we do the plan, we have to make the strategy. So here from IBM we have, yes, the screen is visible, students. Outside the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the diagram is clear, students? Or you want me to zoom? Zoom ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ? Can you please respond? Is the diagram is clear? Okay. Here in this diagram, students, here what we are going to learn is test and analysis strategy. So to test what are the strategies we follow. So here from IBM, they have introduced a clean room. Clean means what, students? If any if you clean your room, then if any waste material, if any unwanted, if any viruses, if any germs are there in your room, so you will take out all that. That process is nothing but cleaning, correct? No? So similarly, if any bugs are there, if any viruses are there, so we have to clean. So that cleaning takes place in a clean room. The clean room process introduced by IBM in late 1980s. So this clean room is introduced by IBM people. So IBM software company, they have introduced this in the year late 1980s. They have implemented. So here what they do the specification on based on the plan. They check the here what they do is they check the system. They check the system in two ways. They check the or they clean the system in two ways. That is in the development and in terms of development and in terms of quality. In terms of development means when we develop any application. So in the process of development, they do the cleaning process. Cleaning process is nothing but the testing process, and they do the checking in the quality also. So in the development they do testing, and in the quality they do testing. And the major five activities they do in the clean room, that is specification. See students, the specification is the first step in the in development of any project. That is nothing but a requirement specification. So whatever the requirement, it may be hardware requirement, it may be software requirement, or it may be any other requirement. First we have to specify the requirement. First we have to take a specification from the customers. If I am developing a application for my client, so first I need to ask my client whatever the specifications are there, whatever the functional requirements, usage requirements are there. So that I have to take from the customer, and based on that I have to plan my activity, I have to plan my project. So once I plan my plan is nothing but a blueprint of the project. Once the blueprint of the project plan means plan means what are the sorry student, not blueprint. Once I get a specification, next thing is I need to plan how I want to execute, what are the specific, based on the specification I have to develop my planning. Next is designing. This designing is nothing but a blueprint of the project, a blueprint
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, your voice is breaking, ma'am.
person which a Yes, students, is my voice is audible?
No, ma'am. It's little bit
Students, can you
breaking,
hear
ma'am.
me? Students, can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am.
Yes, students, today we have some internet issue. If connection, if I'm losing connection, you please call me and tell me. No, if my voice is not clear, also you please tell me. Is my voice is clear, students?
Ma'am, now it
Kelsa
is clear,
idea.
ma'am. Before, like full of. Hello.
Yes,
Ma'am, now
Deepika.
it is clear, ma'am. But sometimes it will like
Okay, okay,
breaking,
thank
ma'am.
you. If it is breaking, you please tell me. No, you can. Because today we have internet issue. So next we the sex. You can see design form, design the form the form. Yes, students. Sorry, students, because of internet issue, again, I lost the connection. Please cooperate. Okay. No, my voice is audible, no?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll share the screen. Okay. So next we have a test and analysis plan. Yes, students, I was telling before I begin with this slide, I wanted project we do, whatever the project we do, in the project, the planning is very important. The planning is very important. Without planning, we cannot, it is difficult to proceed in the project. So first I have to, if I'm doing a project for postal management, if I'm doing a project for postal management system, if I'm doing a project for postal management system, students, so what all I have to do is, first I have to understand that to develop this postal management, what all the requirements I need. So first step is requirement specification. So the collection of resources. So first I need to collect the resources, the specification, what are the specification I need, so that I have to collect. And the next very important step is planning. Yes, students, planning, no? So without planning, it is difficult to move. It is difficult to go further in the. Yes, you can do, but it takes more time and it is difficult. So the better way of doing project, the better practice of doing project or to do any application is we need to do the planning. The planning is a very important step. We have to plan. So based on the plan, it is easy for us. So we have to analyze that if any existing projects are available for this postal management system, what are the functionalities they are using, and how innovatively I want to implement my application, I want to implement my project, and what are the test cases they have introduced, and what are the different test cases I want to introduce. So all this analysis, if it is already with all the functionalities that project is available, then if I develop a same project, then it is time waste. So I don't want to waste my time. I want to develop or I want to implement my project, my this postal management system in a innovative way. So if any drawbacks or if any functionalities are not working in the previous project, so I want to overcome from that. So when I can do all this, when I analyze the existing resources. Correct now, students? When I analyze the existing resources, only then I'll be able to come to one conclusion, and based on that conclusion, I'll do planning. So when we develop any project, the analysis and the test plan is very much important, very much particular in any project. And a plan should be a plan should answer for the following questions. What are the following questions? Are what quality activities will be carried out in yes, students, if you google, you'll get n number of projects in the internet, but the quality is very much important. They might not have taken the quality very much seriously, and just they have developed the project, and they might have uploaded those projects in the internet. But when we develop a project, then if for our customer, if we are developing a project, then we'll concentrate on quality. The quality of the project is very much important. So based on the quality, the first thing is we need to tell that what quality activities we will carried out in our project. So what type of quality activities we are introducing in our project, what are the dependencies among the quality activities and between quality and development activities. Yes, students, the activities, the test plan and the development, both are dependent on each other. So how the dependencies of quality activities and the how the dependency is between quality and development. We see, when we do analysis, only then I'll be clear with my quality and the development process. Only then I'll be able to answer for this question. I can tell how the quality activities is depending on the quality and development, and what are the resources are needed and how will they be allotted. What are the resources in the specification? Only if I do a proper requirement specification, if I do the proper planning of the project, then easily I'll be able to answer for this question. What are the resources are needed and how they will be allotted in my application or in my project, and how will both the process and the evolving products be monitored to maintain an adequate assessment of quality and early warning of the quality and scheduled problem. So when I do this planning and analysis and designing of a test case properly, then I'll be able to monitor the problems. I'll be able to, if I'm while when I monitor the project, if step by step, when I execute project step by step, I'll monitor how the project is carried out, and what are the functionalities, what are the test case, what are the assessment I have included, whether it is executing, and the schedule of the program for to run each functionality. I have done a scheduling, I have given the time. Overall here is to monitor the working of the project, or to monitor the working of the application, whatever the application I have developed. When I monitor, it should not face any problem. It should not face any problem. If the project is facing any problem, also adequately immediate responses, immediate solution I have to provide. So if I do the analysis and planning correctly, then I'll be able to answer for these questions. Risk planning. So students, whatever the project it is, whatever the project we start developing, we want to develop, the first thing, or else I'll tell you like this. If you are doing any mini project, then you'll take a problem statement and you start executing the mini project, and you start developing a mini project. But if I assign you some real-time project, if I give you a real-time project, yes, students, the risk factor is more if you execute a mini project program, MP lab program, and the real-time project. Real-time project. The seriousness will be more here in the real-time project. Correct? No, because at the end you are giving your project to the customer to use. But here in the mini project, to show in the lab, to get some assessment marks, for the sake of assessment marks, you are doing this mini project. But in the case of a real-time project, you are delivering the project to the customer. You're delivering the project to the customer. So here the risk will be more. Yes, students, the risk will be there, no? Because if your developed project is not satisfying the needs of the customer, then yes, students, here's the idea. Students, can you hear me? Yes, here the risk factor is more in the case of a real-time project, the risk factor is more. Yes, students, when you develop a real-time project, maybe it is a smaller project or it is a larger project, the risk will be there. Correct? No? Whatever the project you develop, so the risk will be there. So here a risk is an inevitable part of every project. Correct? No, students, a risk is simply just a team, your company has allotted your project, just you want to complete the task, whatever the task is given to you, to complete that. Like that, we are not going to complete any project, because the project which we are developing, that is a real-time project. So that project we will give to the customers. So the customer should not face any difficulty. Whatever the requirements are there from the customer, whatever the requirements we are getting from the customers, our project should satisfy all the requirements. So the risk factor will be more. So the risk is inevitable part of every project. Means in every project the risk will be there. So risk planning must be a part of every plan. So as in the last PPT, the last slide, I was telling that whatever the project we do, we have to plan. We have to plan first homepage, or first this and next functionality I have to execute. If any functionalities are depending on this, then we have to do this. Then next, like this we do the planning. In the planning, the risk planning is also very much important. We have to for example, if I have developed mobile application, if I have developed a student management application, my application at a time, I have developed for 500 logins or 500 users. If 600 users are using the application, if 600 users are using this application, then definitely it will be a risk for the project. Then what safety measures I have to take, and if immediately it should display some message, or simply the tab should close, or the system should not crash, like this. The whatever the solutions we want to give, whatever the solutions we want to give, all those solutions should be planned. So we have to plan. So in the project planning, the risk planning is also very much important. Risk cannot be eliminated. Yes, students, in any project a risk is not eliminated, but they can be assessed, controlled and monitored. Yes, I cannot say, what I do if I have already told only 500 students can use this application. If 600 users are coming, then that is not my mistake. let it happen, whatever happen like that. I should not escape from the risk. I have to give a proper suggestion, proper monitoring and proper controlling I have to do in the project. If I have to give a proper message that only 500 logins can be used, or immediately some error message, some message it should display. So like that, we have to control and we have to monitor the project, monitor the risk factor in the project. We cannot eliminate. We cannot just say that is not my mistake. I have already told like that. I should not escape from the risk. The risk plan component is a quality plan. Quality plan is concerned primarily with the personal risk, technology risk, and schedule risk. In the risk, there are few types are there. That is personal risk, technology risk, and schedule risk. Wait, students. So in the risk, again, then we have some of the types in the risk. The personal risk. The personal risk may be related to the personal risk means I have developed the application. So if any personal risk means I may not be having a sufficient staff to develop the project. So that is my risk, no students. That is my risk. That is not a customer risk. The customer has given so much amount of money to me, and they have given the project to me. They told this is a deadline, 2 months or 3 months is a deadline they have given, and they told me to execute this project. Now the personal risk maybe I may not be having the resources. Correct? No, I may not be having the resources. The resources may be the staff. Or if I allot a project to a group of people, group of 10 people, I have allotted the project for student management. If 2 of the employees leave the project in between, then that is my risk, my personal risk. So I have to take care that should not happen. That should not happen. So the technology risk, a new technology is introduced in the project. If out of 10 team members, if only 1 or 2 team members know that particular new technology, then definitely it will be a technology risk. Why? Because the remaining eight employees, they don't know the new technology which we are going to implement in our project. So this is a technology risk. So if we are using any technology, or if we are using any new tool, that new tool is known to all the team members who are working in a team. So we should not take any technology risk also. Schedule risk. What is schedule? Schedule risk is the time limit they have given is 2 months. In 2 months we have to do we have to complete the project. But maybe because of the resource problem, or maybe because of the technology risk, I may not be able to complete the project in a stipulated time. So maybe it is taking more time. So it should not happen like that. So for this, not to face such type of problem in future, when we start the project, in the beginning only we have to schedule, we have to take care of resources, we have to take care of technology, and if technology and resources are working fine, then the schedule risk will be less. Development risk. The development team should not develop a poor quality of project. Means poor quality means the functionalities, whatever the requirements we have received from the customer, it should satisfy all the requirements. The execution risk. The resources are as I told students, to run a Selenium testing tool, I need minimum i3 machine. For example I'm telling, to run a Selenium testing tool, I need a machine which is having minimum i3 processor. But the customer who is using this Selenium tool, he is having Pentium 4 machine. then definitely he is not going to, in his system, he is not going to run that application or run that Selenium testing tool. So for that, before they start executing the project, we have to give them a proper knowledge that what are the resources they have to use and how they have to use the project, that we have to educate them. Requirement risk. The requirement risk is nothing but the requirements which we have taken from the customer. We have to note down somewhere, and based on that we should start working. So if we forget what are the requirements of the we have received from the customer, and without the requirement we cannot develop the project. Correct, no, students? These are all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 risk factors are there. The students, the risk factors. The risk factors are the personal risk factor. The personal risk factor means the resources risk factor, personal risk factor, and the technology risk factor, risk factor, development risk factor, execution risk factor, and the resources or requirement risk factor. So to develop any application, these risk factor we have to keep in mind. So we have to work based on this. If the persons are not, if the staff, if the employees are not available, then definitely I cannot execute my project in a stipulated time. The technology also, whatever the technology I'm using, it should be user friendly and it should be known to all the team members who are working in that project. And the development team should develop a project in a specified requirement. So they cannot develop in their wish, whatever the requirements we have received from the customers. So based on that, we have to they have to develop. The execution risk means to support or to run that particular application, whatever the application we are developing, to run that. So suitable resources we have to use. If we are not using the suitable resources, then definitely we are not going to get a, we are not going to, it will be difficult to run the application successfully. And the requirement risk, these are the risk of the plan, students. And the next is monitoring the process. Yes, students, this monitoring the process is very much important. Very much important. See, as a team leader, I will allot you the project. Or I will assign you the project. And I will give the project requirements. And what are the resources are needed. I'll give you that also. Resources I'm giving, requirements I'm giving, and the plan also I'm giving. The resources contains the hardware and software resources and the man resources also. Everything I'm giving, and then all the facilities I'm giving. The next is, as a team member or as an employee, the development team and the testing team, they have to work on the project. They should try to execute the project. So when they do this project, then one person should be there to monitor the process. So he should be there to monitor. I'll give you an example. If you come to a physical class, if any faculty is there in the class, then the noise may be 10%. The noise in the class may be 10%. If any staff or faculty is there in the classroom. If no faculty is there in the classroom, then what is the percentage of noise? Yes, students, 90%. Correct, no? Is it right? Respond. Is it right, students? Eddie, if a staff is there in the classroom, then the noise in the class may be 10%. If no staff is there in the classroom, then the noise may be definitely more than 90%. Just I'm giving 90%. So like similarly in a project, in any project, a monitoring should be there. If no person is monitoring, then they may not be execute the project in a scheduled time, or they may not be complete the project in a scheduled time. The students monitoring, improving the process, and the quality team. These three concepts left out. So these three concepts I'll do it in the next class. Okay, students. Yes, students. Another three topics are left out. These three the topics are monitoring, improving the process, and the quality of the team. These three topics are left out. These three topics I'll do it in the next class. Wednesday you have class now. So in Wednesday's class I'll finish the syllabus, students. Okay. So after completion of the syllabus, daily we'll do revision, students. And if you have any doubt, I'll try to clarify the doubts. Okay, students, I'll stop here. Answer your attendance. Yes, students, understood? After the attendance, I'll give the summary. Once again, I'll give the summary. Answer attendance. Asta?
Yes, ma'am.
Abhinav? Abhinav? Aishwarya?
Present, ma'am.
Amrish? Anu?
Present, ma'am.
Arbaz?
Yes, ma'am.
Arbaz? Amrish? Arjun? Arjun?
Present, ma'am.
Okay, Amrish.
Ma'am, Ambrish.
Ashok?
Present,
Present, ma'am.
ma'am.
Arjun.
Benita?
Ma'am, Arjun.
Benita?
Ma'am, Arjun.
Arjun, I marked. I called your name. Ambrish.
Arjun.
Benita? Benita? Bhargavi? Bhavisha?
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Dev? Okay, sorry. Chaitra?
Ma'am, Chaitra.
Dev?
Present, ma'am.
Dev? Diksha? Diksha? Deepika L? Deepika M?
Present,
Murli?
ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Murli? ಗಂಗೂಬಾಯಿ ಗಂಗೂಬಾಯಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ? ವೈ ಯು ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್?
I didn't
How
got
come
the
everybody
message,
got?
ma'am.
I shared in the group only, no?
From beginning only it is problem, ma'am.
What you
I
told?
told you, no, ma'am. One time it will come and one time it
No,
will
I
not
shared
come.
in the group. I shared in the group. When I share in the WhatsApp group, then definitely everybody will.
Before also 2-3 days later it came,
2-3
ma'am.
days later, then you check internet in your phone. Gangubai, Gudia,
Present, ma'am.
Harshit, Singh,
Present, ma'am.
Kavya.
Present, ma'am.
Present,
Singh
ma'am.
ಯಾಕೆ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್? ಕಿಶೋರ್ why you didn't attend proctor meeting? Lata,
No internet, ma'am.
Lata, Manisha,
Present, ma'am.
Manjunath, Nayana, Neelanjan,
Present, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Nishant,
Present, ma'am.
Pavitra,
Present, ma'am.
Maithili,
Present, ma'am.
Priyanka,
Present, ma'am.
Pavan, Akash,
Present, ma'am.
Rajeshwari,
Present, ma'am.
Rakesh, Ramya,
Present, ma'am.
Rashmi,
Present, ma'am.
Ravi Shankar,
Yes, ma'am.
Rizwan,
Present, ma'am.
Vishal,
Present, ma'am.
Savita,
Yes, ma'am.
Shruti, Sneha,
Present, ma'am.
Spurti,
Present, ma'am.
Srinidhi absent, Srinivas,
Present, ma'am.
Sunil, Vaishnavi,
Present, ma'am.
Vinny,
Present, ma'am.
Ma'am, Deb, present, ma'am.
yes.
Deb, you was in 13, ma'am.
I marked. Deb and Pavan, I marked. Yes, students, today we have seen the risk planning, test and analysis, and the test strategy. We have seen the remaining topics are the monitoring process, improving the process, and the quality of the team. Yes, students, if I complete these 3 topics, then this is the end of the syllabus. Yes, students, by mistake, if I have missed any of the topics, once you check with the syllabus, if I have missed any of the topics, you please let me know so that I can do those topics. I think 95% everything I have covered. If any of the topics missed out, you can tell me. So after the completion of the syllabus, we'll do revision and question paper solving, and we'll do the case study. We'll take some scenario, and for that scenario we can write the test cases. We can do those activities after completion of the syllabus. Yes, students, if you have any doubts, you can ask. In 1 or 2 days, I'll give you the questions of third assignment. I'll give you 1 week time. In 1 week, you can write the answers of third assignment, and you can submit. Yes, students, any doubts? Okay, students, I'll stop here and see you in the next class.